And Kai, I appreciate you bringing that up. My intention was sharing my perception of the talk that I gave is that it leads right into what I'm going to share today and what I'd like to communicate with you and share with you all. And together we can have a conversation about it. And that is about who we are. I mean, we all know we're in a common language and a common perceptual field of reality that we are pure love. We are made in the image and likeness of pure love. And before I launch into that, you asked me to introduce myself. I'm Rex Montague-Bauer. I live down in Nortonville, Michigan, which is down north of Pontiac, Michigan, about 20 miles east, northeast. And we are on 10 acres. We got a beautiful parcel of land. I have four grandchildren, three children. One is deceased, Journey Shea, which most of you know that. And I'm happily married. We just had, well, let's see, what's today? The 17th is our 41st anniversary, which is next Friday, I think. Or is it, what is today?
The 10th, I believe.
The
Oh,
11th.
first.
Yes. So next Friday is our 41st anniversary. So we're excited about that. So happily married and not without challenges, of course, but that's part of how I grow and how I realize we all grow. And what I'm here for is what my message always is in one form or another. And that is, I am designed as pure love, created in the image and likeness of pure love. And my primary focus in life in this embodiment is to fully embody, consciously fully embody as pure love in every molecule of my body and to live as pure love and to function as pure love. That's my primary purpose. And my secondary purpose is to actually support anyone and everyone who's interested in connecting more deeply with that within themselves and whatever that means to them, and enhance that, nurture it, and bring it out more fully so they may choose to live as pure love as well. And I do that through my communications, through my private work with executives, do a lot of executive mentoring and coaching. And I also do workshops and talks. And I do private work in my own home right here in my healing space, as well as on Zoom. I have clients in Texas and we have clients in Chicago, in numerous states all over the country. So I'm excited about sharing what I want to share today. And I'm going to start with, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to do something else that we didn't talk about, Leroy, and that is I'm going to, after I share a little bit about what my experience is of being pure love and the importance of that, of choosing that consciously, I'm also going to share the Lord's Prayer in the ancient Aramaic and the real interpretation of what it means according to Dale Allen Hoffman. And it's a profound prayer that, when shared in Aramaic, has profound impact on us incarnating love fully in our bodies. So where I came to in the deep, extensive study of Yeshua's teachings is this. Fundamentally, Yeshua came up, as far as I perceive humbly, his primary teachings were forgiveness and love. We are love. Now, for me, forgiveness and love are synonymous. And true forgiveness is to untie, release, or let go of that which is inside us that is inhibiting our ability to perceive through the field of pure love and experience everything in the world through the field of pure love. So I go to his message, as I feel is the most important message that he offered. They're all fantastic, but it was when he was asked, "What is the greatest commandment in the law?" And I've got a couple different interpretations I want to reference. One of them comes from a profound work that's called The Enlightenment Manual by Dr. Michael Rice, and it's very amazing work that he deciphered much of the ancient Aramaic language. And it was in Matthew 36. Matthew 22:17, and it's verse number 36. Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law, which was called Nemosa in the ancient Aramaic? And Yeshua said to him, he said, you shall have all-embracing love, which was Tidrakahim. You shall have all-embracing love for the Lord, Myra, your God, and Allahak, Myra, the Lord, and your God, Allahak, in your entire mind and with your whole napsha. And napsha is considered self and soul, which are synonymous and has a very broad meaning. It takes a couple pages of a book to really explain what napsha actually means in the English language. In all your actions and in all your thoughts, which was called rayanak. So it's said to this, Yahshua said, you shall have all-embracing love for the Lord your God in your entire mind and with your whole napsha, and in all your actions and in all your thoughts. And then he said, this is the greatest commandment and takes precedence over all. And the second, which is like unto it, you shall have all-embracing love. And it was called tiqam, for your neighbor, harabach, as your napsha. And the second, which is like unto it, you shall have all-embracing love for your neighbor as your napsha. So what he was saying is, for those that you may not understand the basics of the Aramaic language and love, there were two main words. There are a series of many words that love would try to be the expression of in our language, love. What we've grown to think love is something we experience with someone or with ourselves. But what it actually is, it's who we are. And it's what happens when we represent truly Source in our body and our minds. And why was this commandment so important? And he said, upon these two commandments hangs the law, which was called Orita, and its prophets. That's a lot. He's essentially saying, anything you ever learn, anything you ever experience in any spiritual realm will only be experienced if you're able, fully experienced as it is in its actuality, if you're able to have love fully conscious in your mind and body while you're experiencing it. Wow. So if you happen to have the opportunity to listen to this video, my encouragement for all of us is to just take a couple deep breaths and really connect deeply with your love center, wherever that might be in your body. And a lot of people feel it's in the heart area. So maybe just put your hand over your heart and just take a couple deep breaths and breathe it in. Breathe in the love, the rahma, as it was spoke of in the ancient Aramaic language, and the chabuba, huba, rahma and huba. And just breathe, rahma and huba. And say ruka, which is the ancient Aramaic term for ruka dakucha, or the Holy Spirit, or the holy breath. And breathe that holy breath into your being. And feel it in your body, in your cells. Feel it reverberate through your cells. And I invite you at this moment, while you're doing that, you may not know exactly what the words mean, but they mean the purest expression of love in the ancient Aramaic language. But engage the Rachma filter over your perceptions, which is in the frontal lobes of the brain, and engage your Chuba filter over your intentions in the rear part of your brain, in the back part of your brain, and engage them fully and allow love to be the perceiver and the intender as you are really pure love. Allow that to be the interpreter of whatever we share today. And it feels like a perfect timing to step into the ancient Aramaic Lord's Prayer. And while you're being very connected to your breath and very present as love, and just be very centered in that, I'm going to read Dale Allen Hoffman, which is a Ramesses is just brilliant and amazing, which I've learned so much from along with Michael. I'm going to first read his interpretation of it in English. Now, it's a breakdown of what each word means in the ancient Aramaic, and he breaks it down and brings it forth in a paragraph. And then I'm going to do my best version of the ancient Aramaic prayer and just see where that takes us. Our one absolute eternal being, of which we are born forth from the realm of all and the only. I am empty within the awe of your presence and the purity of your name. As part of my feat of beingness, the great expansion from the ever-present realm, I realize our strength and virtue as one. Of the manifest earth as in the unmanifest realm. Provide the nourishment of your insight and realization through me now and in every present moment. Release my hidden past as I cancel my past concerns with others. Help me remember my true self and wholly release me from the errors of my misperception. For thy realm is the absolute, the all and the only, as our strength of virtue and magnificence from cosmic gathering to cosmic gathering, from age to age. May these be rooted earth from which all my actions flow. Amen. And just kind of breathe into that. And now I would like to say it in what was considered Yeshua's native language. And just imagine that all prayer is an invitation. It's a connecting with and opening to. And what we're doing in this moment is opening to the essence of who we are and who is all. Abun de Boshmaya. Ni tikadash shamach. Te malchutak. Negwe sevinaka kana de Boshmaya aparaha. Ablan lakman sonkani yamana. Woshwokro habain. Akanan dafanan shwakin hayabain. Wela talan il nisiona. Vela pazan min bisha. Medal dalaki ukaila. Uktishbakta. La alam. Amin. Amin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I went through the minister program, we went to several places to see the difference between the processes that they go through. And one was the Orthodox Catholic, and talked about how in the third, how the Bible was actually discovered in the third 3 AD. And it was really interesting because the, how would I say that? The services were, I would say, ordained in a way. It really wasn't a priest talking to the, the people in the church. Not much different than Roman Catholic, but they had huge things on the uh, front of the church, and the priest never really came out to talk to the people in the service. It was all behind the curtain. And the funniest thing was, they did the bread and the wine, and that was what all the parishioners came to get. And so he was doing his homily. 2/3 of the audience had already left because they'd gotten the wine and cheese, the wine and the bread.
Ah,
I do have a question for you though, because I've run across the book. I don't know if you're aware of it, but it's really helping me.
what is the book?
It's called I Am the Word. Can you see it?
Well, you don't, your camera isn't on.
You could try turning on your camera again, Kai.
How do I do that?
It should be similar to where the audio button is.
Right
Click
next to it. It says video.
next to the video.
Can you see me?
No,
It's your right next to video, bottom left-hand corner, there's two buttons, one's audio and one's video.
Oh, got it.
I just sent you a request to start your video as well, so that might show up.
Okay.
There we go.
There you go.
See me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Here's the book called I Am the Word.
And it's Paul Selig.
Well, it's similar to the Course in Miracles. It's downloaded. It's a big deal different than the other book, though. It comes from the book of Peter,
Huh.
where God says, I am the Word. And I'm the Word. I'm the Word, I'm the Word. But it's really powerful because when I was doing the path of spirit and trying to understand the Course of Miracle, I just never really got it. Never got it. Didn't make any sense to me.
Interesting.
And I really liked what Michael taught because I think that's more authentic.
Yes, Michael has done a great job deciphering with his team of, I think, 17 theologians and master word specialists, linguists. And this just brilliant. And this book is a wonderful book, The Enlightenment Manual. And I, Dale Anna Hoffman and Michael did a whole year series of he would do on once a week he would have Aramaic Fridays. And so he and Dale would bounce back and forth with their understanding of Aramaic, and they would teach Aramaic, and we could call in and ask questions, and it was really awesome. And as a human being, he's brilliant, and his work has been indispensable in my growth and my knowledge, and everything I understand today is at the core of his teachings, along with Dennis. And so I honor him, I respect him, and I love him. And we created an optimal being program that's all based on his material. I mean, it's all based on his teachings combined with some of the other teachings that we've learned over time, as facilitators and writers of the program. So what the reason I chose to share the ancient American, I wrote that book down. I'll check it out. What I have happen with the Course in Miracles of the study of probably almost 20 years of study in the Course in Miracles. And they say, don't study the Course, you live the Course. And it was living it, but it was also studying it. So I actually am okay with studying something and then taking the principles of that which I am learning and apply them and live them. And that's what I did my best for the Course in Miracles. And I almost daily have verses and phrases that come to me from the Course and from my study. And I have not picked up the Course except to reference it, but to read it or to look at it again. And it's been a good 10 to 12 years. And the reason I say that is because whatever the medium of truth is, regardless of the vehicle that's sharing the truth is the truth, and it cannot be diluted or distorted. No matter what the language that is conveying it, it will be changed, the words will be changed, and so forth. But at the core of the truth is the original vibration and frequency of the truth. And then it's like building things around it. And why I bring that up now is that, and I'm sure pretty much everything I'm sharing is singing to the choir and it's already known. And if I am able to say, it's why I said the Lord's Prayer in the way that I did, and then explained what I experienced it to be, and then gave the explanation of the ancient Aramaic, is that what it does is it prepares the mind to receive the love that I'm here to offer as a being. And without the proper preparation of the mind, without Rachma and Kuba being present in the over perception and intentions, the love filters that are actual physical filters in the body, implanted by God, created in our bodies. If they are not active, then I am not engaged in the primary, most important commandment. And if I'm not engaged in the commandment, living that commandment, breathing it, that's why in the first Beatitudes it says, make your home in the breath. What is the breath? The breath is Ruka Takucha. It's the Holy Spirit. It's the holy breath. It's the life-giving force that lives and exists in as everything in matter. Even a rock has Ruka Takucha in it. So my experience is for me to be able to be a witness to what is being inspired to share through this vehicle called Rex, in this mouth and this vocal cords and the whole sound system that we've geniusly created. I don't know how it happened, but it's pretty magical. Then I must have Rachma and Kuba active and present. And the Lord's Prayer is designed to activate and resonate that in our physical bodies. I'll pause because I get on a run.
That's great. I love that clarification, and really resonates. One of the things I've been struggling with is sort of the difference between speaking, talking, projecting, and receiving. And I think some of my best moments are when I'm quieting my mind and more in the receiving mode. And paradoxically, that's when I have something more useful to share, at least in my imagination.
It's most assuredly. And we in our conversation, Kai, you weren't there, but we were talking yesterday a little bit. And in our conversation, we talked about the importance of listening and how the most important part of communication is listening, not speaking. And what engaging in the communication of speaking in loving, in love, allowing love to be the inspiration that's speaking through me, then I am listening fully. And how that can play out is this is the outer frequency and vibration that is being emitted by ideally in a perfect mind-body connection and expression of love, fully embodied as love, resonating and vibrating in frequency emitted through the vocal cords that are resonating as pure love, with Rock Van Cuba handling and receiving all perceptual material and all intentions, which is at the very heart of all goals and all actions and behavior. And once that is fully engaged and activated, I am a vessel of love. And to the best of my ability, that any egoic part, and you've seen the parts work out in the world in psychology, right? I trust you have, or the inner child work, much of my original work that I've done, 40 years ago, 45 years ago, I still work with daily. Is that then all of these different parts of myself, and we have a multitude of them with main aspects that kind of we allowed to jump in and run the show. They aren't able or inclined to engage unless they are engaging through the filters of pure love. And they add to my ability to communicate what I might be inspired to share. And when I'm not fully active as love in this physical mind-body section, mind-body connection and mind-body being, Rex, the guy we call Rex, then each of these parts, when activated by words or sounds or experiences, will jump in or try to jump in, because that's how we've conditioned them to behave. And so they just do what they're told, and each of them have their own job. And it was our best version that we made up to keep the part of us that's that pure, open, transparent being of love safe, essentially. And I share the parts part because, to what you're saying, Leroy, is you sometimes struggle with that, as I heard you communicate. You struggle with the idea of sharing and listening, and it all hones down to what you are sharing is going to be what you are listening to. Whether it be a part that you've made up that isn't you, it's some version you've made up of yourself, or the part that is your best interpretation of source love, which is more your being, pure love. And when you're engaged in that, all you have to do is go, ah, and they get it. You don't even have to say words, because it's the vibration and the frequency it's translated. The words can quite often get in the way and inhibit our ability to receive the communication, because then it resonates all the different parts of us and the people listening. It's kind of like we did in your talk, Kai, and then I did the talk that right later. And a lot of the people in there probably went, "Okay, that's enough. Yeah, this is too much. You're asking me to take full ownership for everything I'm seeing. That's more than I'm willing to do." Now, I'm not saying I knew what anybody was thinking or saying, but generally speaking, there's two responses to being confronted with an issue that I am projecting on someone else. One, I will own it and give it a big, all-embracing, loving hug and say, "Okay, come here, let's take a look. Sit down here. Let me hear what you got to say, little guy," or whatever version we made up about ourselves and whatever part's playing out. Or I will do the other option. oh, Rex, you're saying something in this body that I don't agree with, and you're wrong. And it isn't to do with me, it's to do with you and oh, and Kai, because you're talking about Kai. I was never talking about Kai. I was talking about the principles of perception and projection. Kai may very well have done everything they said he did. It didn't matter to me. It's what happens when I receive what you say, Leroy, or Kai, or anyone for that matter. And what I do with it is my responsibility. Now, I can either run it through the filters of pure love, and it will be interpreted, deciphered, and honed to a pure synthesis to the best of my ability to perceive it, all based within my own limitations that I project on myself. And that's what I will have an experience of.
You know what comes up for me when you say that? And it's so ironical. We're meeting in the building where the Quakers put together. And Quakers, they got to do something. Every single part has to agree. There's no dissent.
Ah,
If they don't all agree, they got to keep going until they do.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Now, is this the building that I did the talk that you recorded, Leroy? I did a talk there, didn't I? Or two? Couple talks?
Yeah.
It
I
had
believe
kind of, it was black inside. Did I remember? Or what was the color? It was a real dark color. Or the building outside may have been black. I don't remember. But it was like that building had a door. It was a block building. We had to walk through the door. It was a door. Am I remembering correctly?
that
All
may,
right.
that may have been a different spot.
Yeah.
I'm just remembering it doesn't matter. So that's kind of what I do with my memories sometimes. Yeah, I make stuff up and I think that's what I'm remembering. But that's kind of like we do most of the time in the world, right? In our day-to-day experience.
Create our own reality, right?
We create our we absolutely create our own reality, and then we take what we've created as our reality, and then we create images from it, and then project it out our eyes that we perceive is that actuality. But it's rarely the actuality. Almost no one sees or experiences what is actually there. Because in order, as I understand Yeshua's teachings, in order for me to actually have, and the Course in Miracles, which would be her best version of the course of Yeshua's teachings, would be to have true perception, was for me to have fully engaged the filters of pure love and to have zero limitations placed within my awareness and my psyche of self and others. Then I would have the ability to perceive purely from the state of being versus any version that I color it with from my content. That's how I would explain it.
Thank you, Ray.
Yeah. This has been a fairly rich conversation, off to a clunky start, but we're really glad you all hung in there. If you're cool with another 5 or 10 minutes, I'm happy to continue the conversation, but I also know some of you might be on different timelines. Are you good to lasting till 1:30 at least?
I'm okay. Kai?
I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a pleasure to share with um like-minded seekers, that desire to know the truth. And is willing to just lay down whatever we think we know. Because I can't know the truth until I lay down what I think I know and all my beliefs around it. Because that's what opens me up to actually see what's there. If you don't mind, I'd like to share a personal experience I had. It's pretty profound. I'll share with my really intimate work with people. Um, I was working with a client. You actually know her. It was back in the fellowship days. But that doesn't matter because I wouldn't speak to her name. But she is just a beautiful human being, very loving, and it had quite a rough time of it with her father. He'd been very physically abusive, and I'll leave it at that, to great extent daily. It was horrible. And she'd come tremendous distance from that to where she came to me to do some work. And we were having a session. She was sitting, weren't doing the table work and the breathing process yet, but she was sitting there across from me in my healing room. And all of a sudden I saw kind of like a screen that looked like the old fashioned click, 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 click movie projector, that when the movie, the reel got to its end, it would go like that. Well, I was watching it, and it had the dots between each frame, and it was going this way out of her head. Okay. And I was working with her, and she didn't know I saw this. And I saw images of what appeared to be different lifetimes. That would have been my interpretation at the time. And I said, inside, I went, okay, interesting. So I thought, well, I'm just going to select one thing. And I pulled it out, and I started asking her questions regarding what I saw in the image. Oh, yeah, and she could relate it to directly. And then I picked another piece, much different time frame, so to speak, and asked her blah, 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 blah. And she said, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Well, then I got inspired. I have to take a little drink of water here. I got inspired to ask a question that took it beyond my knowing. And ever since, I do this on a regular basis. It's in essence what we did today when I introduced the Lord's Prayer and I shared the prayer, and to open us all up to be able to, if you're willing, to open yourself up to be loved. And I asked this question. I said, Ruka Takucha, what am I seeing? And it said, which is me, the true me, I am the word. It spoke in my own voice, as it does. You are perceiving streams of consciousness. Because I thought I was looking at past lives. And this is while I'm in session and we're having a conversation with a woman. I'm doing this also with Ruka and having this conversation with the divine. She doesn't know I'm doing that as well. And thank goodness she was one that could talk so I could listen and still do this other piece. It was pretty hard to talk here and talk here. I do that, but it's a little bit more challenging. But the point is, as I did that and combined with what I had been working on for over 30 years, it was more of a validation of what I've been challenging, that we don't experience previous lifetimes. We experience previous streams of consciousness that we can relate to so intimately that it will be as if we lived and embodied that lifetime. It's a much different look, and it lies in much of the teachings of the Buddhic philosophy and many others. And I'm not claiming to know I have the answers at all, but what I found is in that moment, along with a lot of other experiences that had basically been happening for over 30 years, I had a much broader perspective of what reincarnation and past lifetimes were. And what opened up to me was that we are, if you want to kind of run with it as an imagination, as a possibility, imagine there is an almost, and probably is, but I'll say almost for the sake of, openness, almost an infinite number of opportunities, infinite number of options that are available of stored information in the form of frequencies and vibrations, which would be while living an experience of embodiment. Every thought, every feeling, every expression that's ever been spoken, every word, every language, every experience since the beginning of what we might perceive time to be until this present moment going forward into all of eternity. All available only in the present moment. And I have tested this so many different ways for myself and with others. Doesn't mean it's true or accurate, just means that I've tested it to give as much validity to it that I can to muster, awareness of what it is that I'm learning. But at any given moment, we can access anything. Anything that's ever been spoken, experienced, or happened before to such a degree and bring it into this present moment that it's as if we were actually living that. And essentially, it probably doesn't even matter if we believe in reincarnation or not, or that we have a set idea about it, other than I was listening to a profound speaker that I've really latched onto this concept because I believe it to be accurate. And that is whatever limitation that I have within this mind-body system, which it include everything that I have ever been able to be open to experiencing, which is a lot. If any of that has within it a limitation, that's to the extent that I'm capable of witnessing the truth of all, the truth of love, the truth of source. And so my responsibility is to eliminate in whatever way I can any limitations I have placed on my mind body system or on anything or anyone else ever. And then I might be able to experience what is actually there. So I share that with you with humility because, again, I don't claim to know. I just, that's something that I've witnessed along with a lot of other experiences. But what it does is it hones in what I'm here for. I'm here for now, this embodiment, not a past life. I'm not here to correct anything because that's judgment. I'm not here to fix anything that I didn't do good enough. That's judgment.
Good job.
I'm here to have the full experience of whatever it happens to be. And although I'm not thinking I desire that at all, in your experience, Kai, you've had a stroke. And you had whatever that experience has unfolded. I'm sure it's been challenging and rewarding and all sorts of things, everything in between. And Leroy, you've had, for heaven's sake, you had a full brain surgery, right? I mean, what was the
There was a
condition?
tumor removed in my brain. Yeah.
Right on. Okay, so those experiences while we were doing the prayer, I had an experience, I'll say, of both of you having those whatever limitations that might have been experienced as a result of those experiences, not to name them because they're just things, right? That happen. And not to negate them in any way, very profound and amazing, powerful, challenging, all of it. But I could feel and see love to the degree that you're willing and able, rearranging it and changing it for you, both of you. For all of us, because it's never healed alone, ever. Always us. So I
Thank
wanted
you. Thank you
Hey,
for that
something I want
gift.
to ask you.
please.
There was a movie that came out, and Deanne, the woman I was relationship with wanting to go see it. And it was about people who had died and came back to life. And it was a really powerful movie, especially at the end, where a man was talking about he died, went to heaven, met Jesus, and just found it to be enormously what he's going to do the rest of his time. Jesus said, "You have to go back." He said, "I'm not going back. This is too good." And Jesus said, "No, you need to go back." So he goes back, and he's alive. And his family is really happy. He says, "I didn't want to come back." So they took risks. They never talked to him again because he chose going forever to being with them. So how does that process fit with what we're talking about here? When somebody is accused of being dead, but yet revived? Because I know Sherry in Chicago, he talked about when she was having an abortion, she was at the top of the room looking down on her as the doctors were working on her. So how does that fit?
How does that fit into the concept of reincarnation? The idea of reincarnation? Okay. For me, of course, because that's who's communicating it, it would be within this physical mind body system, my thoughts, my memories, my napsha, my soul, myself, merging, and then stepping into dimension that would be more subtle, but feel very real, just like we are now. And whatever the highest thought that I had within that realm is what I would be guided or inspired to experience. And within the vibratory frequencies of everything that's happened, that means an almost infinite number of souls that have left the body to go back into this realm, and what they carried forth with them would add to whatever the experience was that you were describing. And based on what I feel and think and know in my heart of hearts, the best version I can make up in this body, that's what my initial experience will be. And if I don't stay, that's what I will perceive. The key to it is don't limit it. Allow it to expand, because I can only witness and experience to the degree that I have placed limits on that which I am limiting, that which I am perceiving. And if I have no limits, then what I might experience is the all of creation. Because that creation has no limits on itself. That would be how I would answer it.
There's a video that Esther did about law of attraction. And, she gets somebody to put them there. Somebody wants to talk to her directly. And one of the people said, Wayne Dyer has died. And so I'm wondering, if he's up there with you. And so he says, well, hold on a minute, I'll go get him. So he comes over, apparently, and he says, well, how is it? He goes, well, much better than I thought it was going to do.
Now, who is it that he went and got? I missed that part.
I'm saying?
Who was it that they,
Wayne Dyer.
Wayne Dyer, that's what I thought you said. Yes.
Yeah,
And
when
then
he died.
she said,
And Esther said, let me go get him. So she went and got him, but, and through her, he talked to her.
okay, so that's a really, really good example. Because when Journey passed, my son, you know what I'm speaking to, right? Okay. When Journey passed and he moved on into the other dimensions, there were some people that was doing some work with him that helped him when he was making his transition, moving through the dimensions. And there's lots of different layers to go to, so to speak. And what was shared with us is that he didn't stop at any of the layers and he went through them all and went into what was considered pure light. And when asked, Mitzi was having trouble connecting with him. I did pretty well right from the get-go. Mitzi was having trouble connecting with him. And she said, "Where are you?" The answer I would hear when she would ask and I was in her presence, or when she would ask, sometimes she would get, "I am everywhere."
Uh,
And so I think that's more accurate because source love not only is everywhere, it is everything.
right.
And, and even to the extent that we have the absence of love and a force that appears to be influencing a lot going on in the planet that seems to be the opposite of that, which might be called the Antichrist or whatever terms might be used. This is going to get really out there. Is that all right?
Go for it.
All right, and you can determine whether or not you want to leave it on the tape or on the recording. So I'm sitting here right here with a client sitting in the chair over there. And we were doing a session, and this client I've been working with for almost since 2012, in 13 years. And she, what I find is, to the degree that I'm with someone fully, wherever they are willing to go is where we can go, to whatever degree I'm willing to go as well. And that's a pretty cool thing. And I'm having that experience with both of you. So that's why I preface it with that. Imagine there was a time when there was only light. And in order to have an experience, and this isn't going to be fully expressive, but it's the best I can do in words. In order to have an experience of the duality of light, it would be darkness, our version of that. Okay. So darkness was created, but not permanently, but only as a medium through which to experience contrast. And then darkness was given the free will that everything else in creation was given to go forth and multiply and bear fruit. And then now fast forward through the millennia till now. And we're at a crucial turning point where darkness has done everything it knows, and it has accumulated massive amounts of technology and information and knowledge and all sorts of things, not pure knowledge. It cannot have at its core as the source love, because it was given in the mirror image of it. It wasn't given the actual essence of it. So it was created in the image, so it cannot have it unless it takes ownership for it, but it does not, it was never given that ability. And what it does is it will do what it's designed to do, and that is to perpetuate. That's where all the nanotechnology is coming in. That's where a lot of the stuff that's happening in the world's coming in. That's where a lot of stuff's coming, not all of it. I mean, nothing's wrong with nanotechnology. It's who's wielding it, right? And so as I was sharing this, I got a deeper understanding of what we are apparently up against. And that is the main part of the problem, because we think we're up against something. And our experience of that playing out in our world and in the world is going to be either accepting it or rejecting it. And if we do either one of those, we feed it. And why I'm sharing that with you is in our life today, in this moment in time, what pure love does in having Rahman Kuba and full love embodiment and expressing as pure love, then we can put our attention on darkness, the apparency of it, the illusion of it, and have an experience of it. And according to the principles I understand in the law, it cannot impact us to control us in the way that it's designed to, because it doesn't know anything else, because it's seeking the light that we have. So I know we went like that, but I hope that was valuable. Got the inspiration to share that. Go ahead, Kai.
Be the difference between what I think is helpful and
What you think is what? What say again? What I think is
what's the difference between what I see darkly and there is dark?
what I see dark and there is dark. What is the difference?
Yeah. Is my darkness singular to me?
The resonant qualities within ourselves that we have taken on through our historical experience, and that's a we, all the way back through time, plays a role in our experience of darkness, because we cannot do otherwise, except when we are absolutely, and I'm not, and I'm strive to do that, that's my purpose here, 100% fully immersed as pure love in every vibratory aspect of my cellular structure and the space, can I have an experience of darkness as it actually is. Because I will make up my own versions of it, and all of us do. And then we own that, and then we think we got that now, and it's part of us, and then all the things that come with it, and all the reverberations and all the parts that we make up around it, and all the judgments and the ups and downs and all the plus and minuses, which is all about living life fully, hey, go for it, do it. But to address your question, we cannot have that, and comes back to our original conversation. It's why these principles are what I consider to be truly the only principles that are truly essential in our living in a body. And that is to embody love, have Rahman Kuba fully active, and have the Holy Spirit, or Ruka Dakucha, fully activated and inspiring my every thought, every word, every action. Am I claiming that I do that? No, I'm striving every moment of every day, except when I am doing that or am being that, then I don't strive at all, because it would be delusional to do that, because I'm already being that, right? I love questions. That's a great question. Go ahead, Kai. Oh, you're muted, Leroy.
Right?
Kai, go ahead, say it again because he muted you.
Apologies.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
Go ahead, Kai.
do we decide when we're gonna die?
Yes, I think without question.
I would just clarify that we decide when we're going to leave our temporary body.
Yes, I'm referring to the death of the body because that's what I thought Kai was asking me about. Yeah, but you're accurate, Lorraine, very much. We don't ever die. Can't.
Right.
We could say been there, done that, but we can't actually do it.
This has been an awesome conversation, and I love this moment, I think, where you just encapsulated what your intention and um, your approach is, Rex, is a nice summary of kind of what your message. And I don't want to cut it off immediately if you have something else you'd like to share, but I think it's probably a good moment to, it's about an hour, given the fact that we started a little late. But if you want to say any parting comments, I will start by saying thank you. This has
Yeah,
been
thank you.
more enriching than I thought it would be, given
Yeah, good to see you again.
Wonderful to see you both. And Kai, it's been a long time and I appreciate you. What I would like to do is that I sometimes fail or miss the opportunity to share, you know, my availability to anyone. So I would like you to share my phone number if you'd like, and my actual email for anyone who would like to reach out and contact me. I do private work one-on-one. I do group work, and I also do private work with executives. That's a big part of our company. And Ruka Group is a wonderful place to discover, more about what we do and what we offer. We have journeysdream.org. You can reach journeysdream.org and also Ruka Group. If you just go and Google Ruka Group, you'll find the .coms and you'll find where there's different versions. We have the Optimal Being Program, and you can learn more about that. That's also available. We've got a lot of tools. We've got over 100, or no, I think we hit 200 videos that are happening on our On Your Mind podcast. Dr. Timothy Hayes, which is a master teacher of the Course of Miracles and Michael's work, and also just a brilliant psychologist of over 45 years, works in Illinois. He's been the facilitator of those podcasts. And we interview people all over the world in all sorts of walks of life, but primarily focused on mental health and well-being. And it's just an immeasurable resource, and Journey's Dream also. But if you would just look there, and hey, if you ever inspired to leave a donation, we welcome it gracefully and open arms, because that's what helps us run everything. They're all donation based. Ruka Group is a for-profit. Journey's Dream is not for profit.
thank you. That's very generous of you. I'm really glad you added that trailer as well. And not to belabor this, but your question about podcasts and do we have enough of them? Do we need more of them? And led me to a little bit of a searching yesterday and today about what are other forms of information exchange that we might consider. So I'd love to continue that conversation.
Yes, by all means.
I
Well,
think
just know I'm available. If you ever want to reach out, feel free to call. And if I'm available, I'll take your call. I think I've got you both in my phone. Let me make sure. It's been quite a while. I know I have Leroy now, but Kai, let me check to see if I still have your number. Have you changed your number over time?
um, my phone is about to die. I might have lost you for a second, Kai. I'm going to plug it in.
I don't have you in my info anymore. What's your let's see. Give me your phone number, Kai.
517-708-9557.
9.
9557.
Okay, 708-9557. No,
Yeah, it's 517 on the area code.
got that? Yep.
554.
The last four digits I'm having trouble hearing.
57089557.
9525.
57.
25s.
25s.
Okay. 517-708-9557.
Correct.
Nailed it.
Thank you.
Sorry. Beautiful.
ERKAI 93.
Would you say it? Because he breaks up when he's saying it. Can you give me his
Email is drkai@gmail.com.
Yeah, 93. 9.
drkai93@gmail.com. Great. I hope to see you both again soon. And we do have an opening next month. We've got a couple people who's expressed interest, but if you've got a topic or a suggestion for a speaker, or if you'd like to come back, either of you, love to have you. Have a great afternoon. Thanks, everybody.
blessings? Very enjoyable. Blessings on you and all you see.